I already forgot.
Uh-oh.
See, the little note right here tells me hit the record button. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get directly into the PowerPoint. And then directly behind that, we will get on to the, oh wait, so let me take a quick breather real fast. I'm going to stop sharing this. I indicated to you all that the DTE Shark Tank, Mr. Donald Snyder just joined our call. Don, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How you doing?
Hello, Mr. Snyder.
Hello, Ms. Sigmund.
So to preface, ladies and Walt, this conversation, Mr. Donald Snyder is the founder of CBA, See, Believe, Achieve formula. They are current contract holder with DTE, and for the last, what, 4 years, Donald?
Yes.
You've done the exclusive contracts with Shark Tank, where with DTE, where they actually provide some funding and some other wraparound supports to small businesses. Donald Snyder is my mentor. He says I graduated, but I think if I allow him to use that, he may not answer my calls. So he is a former MEDC, or Michigan Economic Development Corporation Vice President over Urban Initiatives and Affairs, formerly owned like 5 different McDonald's, Pizza Huts, and blah, 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 Skippy, and all the rest of it. He's been in the ecosystem for a very, 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 very long time. And I had the privilege of being mentored under him for some years. And so, Donald, because we're in the middle of our class, I'm going to go ahead and let you tell them what DTE is and what this Shark Tank presentation is and how they can get a hold of you. And you can leave any information or telephone numbers or links in the chat room, and I'll make sure to share it with them.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing? We just finished up a DTE Shark Tank this past November, but I would go back to 2018. We did our first Shark Tank in the North End. DTE wanted to focus on the North End, so we went to Reverend Holly's church. Did the event there. We pulled people from, excuse me, someone put this on mute. We pull people from lowest class, ProsperUS. That's usually a good vetting class to pull students from to participate, but we're really interested in startup and existing businesses that can provide support to their neighborhoods and communities that surround them. That was the target piece. So I pulled a lot of people from ProsperUS, and also we vetted some other folks who were starting a business mainly in the North End, part of our process. The process is we will vet all contestants. We would send them to a coaching ceremony so you know how to coach, because you got to do a pitch. And during that time, before COVID, we did pitching where you would pitch before judges, about 5-6 judges. We would have a dinner that night. Usually the dinner will have 175, 180 people to attend from the community. And then we have about five or six judges to listen to your 2-minute pitch. And you need to, during the pitch, we expect you to talk about, number one, about your business, how you expect your business to grow, how you're gonna be able to service the neighborhood and the community that you're from, if that's possible to do. And then after that, the judges leave the room, they tally up the votes, and we pick a winner. We usually have a first place winner we may give $3,000 to $5,000 to, and the second, third place winner will probably either get $1,000 or $2,000 apiece. We fluctuated over the 3 Shark Tanks. The first one we gave out $5,000. The second one we gave out $7,000 or $8,000, and then we came back with the third one with another $7,000 or $8,000 that we gave out. So we given out a total of $17,000 to $18,000 to take them with their businesses. What they like me to do is to, after the winners mainly, I will have a class, an entrepreneurship class, which is called the CBA, which means conceive, believe, and achieve. And basically, I don't deal with the business plan. I don't deal with your financials. I mean, we can talk about that, but it'd be very briefly. I'm interested in your entrepreneurship mind. It's a mindset that I'm after and to get you all to think about. How do you buy, should you buy something or lease? Should you sell something? How do you really market your business? How much time should you spend chasing a purchasing director to do business with you? Just because you went to a event, a procurement event, and everything is all good, laughs and smiles, and you get his card and you call and call. Well, after 45, 60 days, stop calling him because you must don't have anything he needs. Direct your time elsewhere. We'll talk about different businesses that you may think about, franchising, how you want to approach businesses that you may get a wind of, hey, Walmart's looking for this, Sam's Club looking for that. We will dive through all that and tell you if it's a yes or a no. I mean, we've had a lot of people come to us and say, oh, I got opportunity at Ford football field. Not a good opportunity. Sounds good. They 5,000 people of a 360-day year. They may have maybe 50 or 60 events, including concerts, football games, that type of stuff. So how can you make it off of a year and the place is only having events maybe 50 to 60 times a year? So you have to put the right thought into going after those opportunities that you think are good. I use one for an example. Young lady had a deal with Ford football field to sell smoothies. She contacted Laura. Laura contacted me. We had a conference call with her, and I said, okay. And I call these case studies. I said, if you selling a smoothie, okay, what part of the field you on? Well, I'm on the north side. Well, how do the people from the south side of the field know you're there? Do you know how Ford Field's going to bill you at the end of the day? They set up a cash register. Let's say you got employees working with you. They will let you ring up all your sales, but at the end of the day, Ford Field is splitting 60-40%. You get 60, they get 40, but you don't get your 60% until 30 days from now. But yet you got employees you need to pay that night. So it's a lot of stuff that people don't look at when they get into it. If you look at doing business with Walmart, Sam's Club, Myers, the things that they want you to do to manufacture, to purchase is a problem because they want you to order 3,000 of this or 4,000 of that. When basically you should be talking to them about, look, I'm from Detroit. Let me just service the Myers stores or the Walmart stores in my metropolitan area. Let me get a feedback on how my product is going to be moving versus investing money into ordering 3,000 or 4,000 SKUs of product that you're going to end up sitting on. If most of you all watch Shark Tank, how many people watch Shark Tank? Raise your hand. What is the major problem on Shark Tank that those people have?
Scaling ability.
Huh?
Scaling ability.
No.
Cost.
The problem those people have is inventory. They get money to move inventory that they are stuck with. And that's what we don't want you to do. So I just want to just chime in. We're looking to do a Shark Tank, possibly I think end of July or maybe beginning of October. I'm waiting for DT to get back with me. We want to pick the right side of town. They love us to do the North End. I'm trying to get away from the North End and go out by Reverend Holly's church. Reverend Anthony's church by Fellowship area, go to Rosedale Park. I'm trying to go to the parts of Detroit if they would let me. But either way, we still will be taking most of the contestants that are vetted through Laura's class at ProsperUS because we turned out some good folks. She knows how to teach good folks, and they seem to have a better hold on how to be an entrepreneur or basically how to really start a business and hang in there. So if anybody got any questions, I can have some. And like I said, I got a lot of case studies. I've done it myself. I'm a former owner of Kentucky Fried Chicken. I've owned Papa John's Pizza. I've owned McDonald's. I had 2 coffee shops at the Metropolitan Airport. What else have I had? Anyway, a lot of stuff like that. Former automotive supplier for 15 years. I was a tier 1 supplier to Chrysler, Johnson Controls, Dana Corporation, Cummins Engine. I grew a business from 0 to 10 million a year. I started out with 4 employees, 100. I had a facility in Detroit, which was where I was headquartered. I had a facility in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I had a facility in Cincinnati, Ohio. So I've kind of been through all that. And so when I do have a class, I'm teaching you from my case studies, my experience, academic person. I'm not teaching you from any book. Again, I want to touch on the entrepreneur spirit of where you at, where you should be. Are you out here just to have a hobby? Really out here for business, because this is a sacrifice that you have to make. You can't have one foot in working 8 to 5, and then you're trying to hustle your real business or your dream from 7 to 12 midnight. Most people on home, you can't reach them. They want to have dinner. They don't want to be bothered. So you had work from 8 to 5. That's when you need to be contacting those people, and you're not in a position to do that. So that's the kind of thoughts I need you to have. And I'm gonna leave you this one case study, Ford football field. When Ford football field opened up, I had opportunity to provide hot dogs and chicken to Ford football field. First contract was the hot dog contract. Now, I'm an automotive supplier. Ain't never been in the food business. And the gentleman was from Chicago. He was running Ford field. He says, hey, I'm looking for some minority folks that can provide me some food products. He said, the problem I got is everybody is in automotive. That's the person you want. He said, why you say that? I said, because we're flexible. If you say we need a truck, we get you a truck. If you say, we need a high-low, we get you a high-low. We're very flexible in what we do, because in the automotive business, I had to have 2 of everything. If one machine broke down, have a second one ready, because otherwise, them are going to tell me, you got to go because I can't keep up. So we're in that frame of mind of duplicating, having a plan B in case plan A doesn't work. But anyway, I got a contract to provide hot dogs. I said, 64,000 people, 60 events for the year. Okay. Good contract. Talked to Vienna Beef in Chicago. He wanted his money in that 30. We rocking and rolling. So I'm ordering hot. So now I had to buy a truck, refrigerated truck. I had to rent space down at Eastern Market. I had to hire a driver. I had to have insurance for the truck. I had to have liability insurance for the food, which is $1 million policy. So I had to have all of that. And I tell my students when I have class, I said, when we go through this, would you accept the contract? Oh yeah, Mr. Snyder, okay. Well, great. Now we're rolling good with the hot dogs. They said they wanted chicken. So I ordered 500-600 cases of chicken. And I'm a chicken guy because I'm a former Kentucky Fried Chicken, so I order chicken all the time. But I've been out the loop for a long time. So I ordered 500-600 cases of chicken. Thinking now I'll pay the guy net 30, right? So the salesman that I worked with, he came to me and said, Mr. Snyder, did you get our invoice? I said, yes. The invoice was like $27,000. Yes, I got the invoice. Well, they want to know what you're going to do with it. I said, well, I'm going to pay them net 30. He said, well, I think they want their money sooner. I said, look, you tell them I'm a minority businessman, I'm a small business, and I need better terms. He comes back in 2 days later. He said, Mr. Snyder, I told him exactly what you said. Those people said they want their money. So if I was not in position to pay them, which I was, I just want to hold on to the money. If I was not able to pay them, they would have contacted Ford Field, and I would have been out. So you got to have money and reserves to pursue an opportunity. Okay, but that's number 2. So anyway, I had to pay them net 15. So I'm ordering chicken in. I got to pay the chicken man net 15, hot dog man net 30. Guess what? Ford Field paying me net 45. So I got to bridge the gap. So these are the kind of things you have to walk into and deal with. But I had the leverage to do that. Now, what also was a plus was I'm a distributor, which means every venue in that place is selling my hot dogs and chicken. I'm not on the north end of the field, south end of the field. Everybody in there is using my chicken and hot dogs. So this is the kind of things you need to think about the position. Customer offer you a franchise opportunity does not mean it's a good opportunity for you, because at the end of the day, when the lady was selling smoothies, really Ford Field didn't need her to do that. Ford Field could done it by themselves. They didn't need her. So basically they was going to use her, and when she failed, they bring somebody else in. That's how it's done. So you can't get caught up in the venue or the opportunity unless you really do some research. And not only that, but 70% of the people go to Ford Field, drink liquor. They don't want no smoothie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to deal with.
Unless it's some liquor in there.
Right, exactly.
Right.
You got some liquor this meeting. But anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your class time. I just want to just share some things with you. As you can see, I get excited when you talk about business and entrepreneurship. That's my thing. I mentored a lot of people. Laura's been my top student that I have a mentor. Believe me, I don't want to be bothered with Laura. I mean, I just wanted to just be a carefree.
You're not going to tell the story, Don. You're not telling
Okay,
the
I'll let you tell. I don't want to be bothered with Laura. Laura wouldn't go away. No, but it's important too. If you're going to have a mentor, you need a mentor that is going to be open to let him share his Rolodex with you. A mentor can't give you everything you need. He's got to be able to share his relationships with you so you can grow. If Tiger Woods depended on his daddy just for golf, which his daddy taught him, Tiger Woods be playing at the level he's playing at. The Williams sisters, they depended on their father to teach them tennis. They would not be playing at the level they're at. You got to get other streams of knowledge, information, and exposure. So don't let nobody run no game on you about they're your mentor. They're not exposing you to other things other than just them. They ain't no mentor. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Thank you, Donald Snyder. Now, how am I supposed to do my class after that session? Get off the line. Thank you so much. No, tell them how to connect, Don, with on the DTE thing. You're still
okay.
being formulated, right?
Again, going back to DT, we're doing something different, just like you all are doing with this virtual stuff. We're trying to figure out how do we have a committee to vet the applicants that we want in the Shark Tank. How do we hold the event with 100 or X amount of people watching? How do we include the judges to judge the pitches that are being made? So we're putting that together. And I don't know if we're going to do something by the end of July or October, but I just wanted to plant this seed with you now so you can stay in touch with me, because I would love to have you in there and see what happens. It's a good time. And also it springboards you into other pitch contests. We got a young lady that did not want to pitch. I mean, Laura, tell you about it. Dina Neely, she's an electrical contractor. Didn't want to pitch, didn't want to talk. Divorced, had 2 kids. Husband was a master electrician, walked away from her. So she had to figure out, how am I going to make it? So she came to the 2018 pitch. We coached her. We got her up there. She was competing against 6 other people, and she won. She won $5,000 that evening. Went down to New Orleans to the Pepsi Cola event that they had down in New Orleans, which was 3 weeks later. Called me up and said, well, they got this $25,000 pitch. What should I do? So we talked and coached her. She won $10,000 down there. So she's been on the road. Person that didn't want to do it at all, was skeptical and all that. So this is what we do with people.
Thank you, Don. I'll be sure to pass your contact information to them.
Okay,
and I'll certainly be inviting you back, because you just messed up my whole class. So thank you so much.
Well, anyway, Laura, I want to share with you, DT wants me to teach a class, and I've told them that I'm going to have you kind of facilitate that, and I'll just come in. But basically, I'm going to be working with you doing it, because I'm at the point I'm tired of classes. But anyway, I'm going to let you handle it.
You got my vote.
Okay. Take care.
Thanks,
Bye
Don.
bye.
Thank you, Mrs. Snyder.
Okay.
Bye. All right. So, no pressure. Psych. If that makes sense for you, it's really good to gain the exposure, because it's really well publicized. Cranes Detroit covers it. You'll get some of the news outlets. Not to put any pressure on you. It's just getting you that extra exposure that you need. And so it was really fortuitous to have him tonight. And I wanted to do that after I introduced the pitch conversations. And I wanted to do it when we talked about how do you find your customers, because planning your communication means is very important. So I'm going to go ahead and probably have to fast forward or skip through a few things, because that went much longer. He was supposed to talk 5 minutes, and he didn't. As he said, he got really excited. I want you all to just take a, look at this. I'm going to cut out a few things so that we stay on schedule, but I'm really interested in making sure that you understand this conversation about making sure your customers can find you. In this review, we're looking at things that will help get you a greater market recognition or greater placement. We will look at that marketing plan that we looked at or talked about a little bit last week. I gave you that $150 budget or $350 budget. If you, even as you go through the orientation of thinking through your process, you must actively commit to doing things right now, even in advance of your launch. Things right now have to be done so that you can be, steadfastly positioned to move forward. You should have at least a narrative of your business plan. You should have a checklist with the things that are outstanding. You should design a timeline for those outstanding items. And you should review again based on what we talked about last week. What is your marketing budget? Now, let me preface our conversation with some real facts. Laura Sigmund totally sucks when it comes to social media. I totally suck. Completely, utterly, without fail, it is what it is. My ranking, my visibility in all social media platforms is dismal. I may have maybe 700 or 800 followers, but they hear from me like every 3 weeks. At one point, I got to the point where I was responding every 4 or 5 days. But
it just has to be consistent. It doesn't, once a week. It doesn't have to be.
No, ma'am. No, the rule of thumb is they want you to have some type of interaction, because I get scored and there's some analytics. I'll show you how they rank you behind that. Yeah, consistency based on your schedule is not the same consistency based on those who are consuming the content.
Right.
Now for email, I understand the etiquette for business communications. Social media has kind of like just shifted itself into our platform, Chaz, where we now have to perform based on how other people consume content. And that's complicated.
Yes.
When first off, I know I don't get hardly any business. I don't think I can ever say in the last 6 years that I've gotten a client that I pursued, or the type of client that I would pursue through social media. Not to say that I can't get any. They're not the kind or the ones that I'm actually looking for. I get a lot of inquiries about, okay, so what, what's the DBA and what do I do for this? And what kind of funding, and can I come to your workshop? And I heard you did this pitch competition. I get that stuff, but they aren't my clients. But at the same time, I'm not in a luxury position to ignore them, because my rankings will fall if I don't participate. I totally suck on Alignable. I totally suck with Twitter. I totally suck on Instagram. I do a little bit better on LinkedIn, but look at the screen. This is not even a third of the social media platforms that people are actively engaged in. This is not even a third. And at the time that I put this little diagram together, I'd already gotten feedback for people who have a consumable good that these are not the best platforms for everyone, because Pinterest may be something, or some other stuff that I don't even know anything about. Like, I have to research it. I told you, full disclosure, I am not a social media maven. I don't know. I don't, it's not my world. I try to be inclusive of those who I think will find value in what I'm offering, but for all intents and purposes, not always the same. So I'm going to stop this share, and I'm going to show you. Please take out an ink pen and some paper. If you've got some questions, obviously I'll mute your line and say something to me, but we're about to go through a back-to-back quandary of nothing but videos. How many of you have heard Google My Business? How many of you are placed on Google My Business? We're going to go through the tutorial to actually design your business right now on Google. We're going to go through creating a website. Even if you have your own domain and your own website, it is great to take that hyperlink, the HTTP, and embed it in a Google website, because people who go to search devices on Androids and on the iOS system, they still use that, okay, Safari, or say Google, or what's this thing, Siri, and it still is part of the Google search. The Google does it. So it's important that, not that you need to do away with your website, but you want to embed the link so that it maximizes your search capacity. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, get into some of the videos. We'll do the first one, which will be Google My Business. And you all decide which is best for you as we go through the process. This is a 15-minute video, so I'll be smashing my dinner while you all are watching it.
Wrong way to set it up. So today I'm going to teach Google My Business is an awesome platform that can be used going into 2020 to generate leads and get you way more customers. But there's a right way and a wrong way to set it up. So today I'm going to teach you the right way to properly set up your Google My Business in 2020. I'm going to give you my tips and strategies that you can use to increase your local visibility and get more of what you want, which are customers. Attracting local customers is actually easier than ever thanks to things like Google My Business that give you more visibility to market in your town or service area online. So if your business relies on local customer traffic, let's get started creating and optimizing your Google My Business listing. Here we go. Okay, so here we are at google.com/business. Now this is where you're going to come to set up your profile. So the first thing you want to do is click up on Manage Now. And here's where you're going to...
You can also type Google My Business directly in Google, and it'll take you straight to this link.
to type in your business name. So right away, we've got a few choices here. So you can do something. I'm going to assume, I think, for the purpose of this video, that it's a brand new business for you. But if it's not, you have to really work more in what you've already established as your business name. So we're going to do a fictitious closet organization or closet installation company here. So I'm just going to type in that business name. Okay, so I've typed in.
But for some reason, it's not clear.
Let's call it that.
I can't see it clear.
So
Hold on, let me see if it's me on this end. Hold on one sec.
Okay, because it's blurry.
Is it blurry for anybody else? Because it's saying that my computer has optimized the video.
Okay. It might be mine.
It may be yours, Lisa, because it's actually showing that I have optimized the video link.
It was coming in a little fuzzy, scratchy like, but I think it kind of cleared up a little bit
Okay.
for me.
set up your profile. So the first thing you want to do is click up on Manage Now. And here's where you're going to type in your business name. So customers. Attracting local customers is actually easier than ever thanks to things like Google My Business that give you more visibility to market in your town or service area online. So if your business relies on local customer traffic, let's get started creating and optimizing your Google My Business listing. Here we go. Okay, so here we are at google.com/business. Now this is where you're going to come to set up your profile. So the first thing you want to do is click up on Manage Now. And here's where you're going to type in your business name. So right away, we've got a few choices here. So you can do something. I'm going to assume, I think, for the purpose of this video, that it's a brand new business for you. But if it's not, you have to really work more in what you've already established as your business name. So we're going to do a fictitious closet organization or closet installation company here. So I'm just going to type in that business name. Okay, so I've typed in Aspen Brothers Closet. So we'll just call it that. So this is a great business name that's just kind of as is. But what you can do is, if people are going to be typing in something like closet organization or closet design or closet installation, what you might want to think about doing is adding that into the name in some way. So instead of Aspen Brothers Closets, it might be Aspen Brothers Closet Installation instead. Now you have to be careful. If this isn't really the name of your business and one of your competitors sees you doing this, they can flag you and Google can take your listing down or at least really demote it in the listing. So, but in this case, I do think it Actually, we've got an extra closet there. I think in this case, it actually does make perfect sense to call your business Aspen Brothers Closet Installation. So as long as it flows well and sounds good, I think you're fine. Where people get into a little more trouble is, let's say this was in Boulder, Colorado, and now you were going to do a dash and type in Boulder there. That is a little more of a gray area. So you can do that, but keep in mind you're more likely to be flagged and your listing demoted. I mean, it could only be temporary, but if you want to take this risk, you can. You'll have a higher chance of ranking within Boulder in Colorado to do that. But, you know, I might recommend you leave that off just in terms of keeping your branding intact and playing by the rules. So anyway, let's go ahead and go with this. So we'll just click on enter. Okay, so then we're going to just make sure the business name is correct and then click on next. So now what we want to do is find the category that fits the business best. So if you're, you know, a pizza restaurant, that's going to be really easy. Or, you know, an electrician, that's probably very easy. So if you're a closet installation company, it might get a little more tricky. Let's see if it has anything coming up for us. Not really. So as you can see, what I would recommend doing is just start by typing in, like if it was pizza, let's type pizza delivery, takeaway, restaurant. But yeah, closets, nothing's really coming up for it. So this is great if you happen to be in an industry where it's a little more obscure what you would want to choose. So what you would do in this case, so let's just open up a new tab here and let's type in, I'm just going to type in closet installation. So what you want to do is you want to see what kinds of categories the top rankers have done here. So this is an ad, so I'm going to throw that one out. That's not really going to count. So the first one is a home improvement store. Then we have an interior designer and a cabinet maker. So that doesn't really make it easy. We've got 3 different choices here. So in that case, what I would definitely recommend is if it's more weighted, if there was 2 home improvement stores or 2 interior designers or even 3, then that's what I would go with. So in this case, with 3, you know, I might click on more places and see what it happens to be ranking for. So interior designer, home improvement store, cabinet maker, home improvement store, glass and mirror shop. It's all over the board here. So what I might do is just go with interior designer here, because if that's mostly what you do is designing these closets, then that might make sense. And you can also always add in those other categories to fill it out later as additional ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on next. So now, do you want to add a location customers can visit, like a store or office? So obviously, if you're retail, if you're a restaurant, a bar, anything like that, then people will be coming in to visit. And it's basically going to show your location here on Google Maps. So if you're a retail store, obviously that's yes. If you work from home or you travel out and don't really want people coming to your place of business, you would probably click no. I would click no in this case. So then next. So where do you serve your customers? This one is hotly debated here. So not hotly debated, but a little misunderstood. So what this really means is you can talk about all the different areas you service. It does not necessarily mean you're going to rank highly in that entire area. You're really going to rank most closely to where your actual location is, particularly if you have a high level of competition. So what you'd want to do here, though, is you'd want to add in all the different areas that you I keep spelling Boulder wrong, all the different areas that you serve. So I'm going to type in Boulder, Colorado, USA, and then I'm going to type in just some surrounding areas, like Louisville, Colorado, Lafayette, Colorado. So just a few, and then what you'd want to do is really type in all the cities surrounding you as well, everywhere where you actually would serve, and then click next. So you're going to put in your phone number here. Obviously, it's a fake one. And then you probably already have a website. If you don't, I don't necessarily recommend Google's option for like a free website. So definitely recommend getting one of your own. I'm just going to type in boulderclosets.com, click next. All right, now I'm going to click finish to finish us out here. There's still lots to do though, so don't go away. So here's where you're going to put in your physical address. Even if you don't want it to show, Google still has to know where it is, because in order to verify your listing, they're going to send you a physical postcard in the mail. That's the only way they can really verify you. So fill this out and then click on next. But in this case, just for this video, I'm just going to click on verify later so we can walk all the way through the rest of it. And then at any time in the future, after we're done with all this, you can click on verify now and it'll walk you through those steps. So what we're going to want to do here is complete our listing as completely as possible. So over here on the right-hand side, it's going to give you all your action items. So let's go ahead and add some business hours here. So you're just going to choose which days you're open. I'll just assume Monday through Friday, and then you'll type in, the times you open and the times you close, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we'll just do that for all these days. Okay, and then just going to click on apply. So remember how we chose interior designer as our main category earlier? We're going to want to add in a few extra ones to really up our chances of being found for different things. So go ahead and click where it says here, this will be the category you chose. Click the pencil icon right next to that. And we're going to click on add another category. So let's go back and see the ones that the other ones had picked. So we have home improvement store, we have cabinet maker. Those seem to be some of the best ones I'm seeing here. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on those. So we got cabinet maker, and then we've got home improvement store. I'm going to see if there's anything else about organization or, no, not really. Nothing that fits here. So I'm just going to go ahead and be happy with these three choices and click on apply. So let's go on down here and make sure we've got everything filled out. So add special hours, that would be for holidays or something like that. Don't think that's super necessary here. Appointment link. So let's say you want to take free consultations with clients. So what you want to do is you want to add in your the page on your website where you take those consultations. Okay, so I type in boulderclosets.com/consultation, apply. Okay, now we've got products and services. So in our case, we're providing a service, not really a product. So I'm going to click on that. So I'm going to actually click on add custom service. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in pretty closely to what I think people might be typing into Google when they're looking for a business like this. So I'm going to type in Boulder Closet Installation and then click on confirm. And then I'll add another one, Boulder Closet Design. And then I'll do Boulder Closet Organization. And I'm going to click on apply, and that gives us three really defined services, including the city name that we're trying to rank for. So then on each of these, I'm just going to go ahead and click through to them. And then I'm going to come up with a really good description here that's going to also use the same phrase within it. Something like, we're the top Boulder Closet installation specialists with more than 20 years in the industry. So we're using the keyword phrase, and we're also giving a bit of benefits. We're giving reasons why you might want to hire us, right? So I'm just going to do that and click apply. And I would do something similar with the rest of these as well. Keep in mind, you don't want to just copy and paste the exact verbiage. You want to vary it up a little bit so it's not spammy, and each one of these reads as unique. So when we're done with that, we're just going to back out of here. And let's see what else we need to come up. Oh yeah, add a business description. That's going to be very important. So you want to be sure that you use the service name as people are typing it in, and you want to tie that to the location as well. And they're giving you 750 characters to do it. So there's no reason not to fill this out completely and really put in as many variants of the keyword phrases as possible without getting spammy and overstuffing it. So this is just a quick job where I basically include the term Boulder, design, custom closets, design installation, organization, Boulder County, Louisville, Lafayette. So it's basically, I'm just trying to put as much in there as possible that reads nicely and doesn't feel spammy. So then click on apply. And then you can add your opening date. This isn't super important, but just put that, let's just choose something here. Click on apply. And now you're going to want to add photos. Now this is actually pretty important to the process. So you're going to want to definitely choose, put up your logo file and a cover photo. And I really, really recommend adding a video or two. That's just really good for SEO. And it's also really good for connecting with your customers. When people search for you online, your box is going to show up on the right-hand side similar to this. So I just typed in California closets. So basically you get a nice big box here that showcases your business. And if you have a video, it's very likely to be called out right in here. So I would definitely add that. And just as many photos as you can within all the different categories, product, team, if you want to showcase pictures of your team and your employees, and identity is your logo file. Now, I used to really recommend geotagging your photos, which was a way of putting extra data on your photos that ties them to your location. But I found that people were getting really tripped up in that process, and it was really slowing people down, and I think they were assigning too much weight to it. Truthfully, it's just a tiny little thing that makes a tiny little difference, and actually it's kind of making less and less of a difference every year, so I don't really even recommend wasting your time with that anymore. So another thing we want to do is you want to add a post to this, because let's go back to our California closets example over here, this sidebar. So if you scroll down, you've got this nice little area here where it tells people they can save up to 20%. And it's a nice visual interest, and it gives people another reason to want to work with you, right? So we're going to add something like that here. So just go back to your homepage, or just click on posts right here.
What happened?
I just shut it down.
Okay.
So it was lengthy, but he's extremely detailed. I like the way he does it. I am recording it, and you will have the link so that you can pause. And I really suggest that you interface with 2 different devices. Believe it or not, you can do the Google My Business even on a handheld device, a laptop or a phone. And it's as easy, especially if you got pictures and things that you want to upload to showcase and all that good jazz. We're gonna go into another video, and I'll probably cut it short too. How many of you are on Yelp? Believe it or not, there's some mixed reviews about the quality of Yelp because they don't use a good filter on making certain that employees or owners are not making their own comments about how great they are. They don't do enough of filtering or vetting in that space. However, the market still says that people look at Yelp as a placement, as a scoring mechanism for quality of goods or services. So for that purpose alone, we need to actually have you on Yelp. What you just saw on Google My Business is all free. He was extremely detailed. You can do it yourself. It takes less than 6 minutes to actually set up a Google My Business.
Mm-hmm.
It takes less than 6 minutes.
Okay.
But he added a lot of detail. Let's get to the next one. And like I said, we'll probably cut it a little short as well, but only because I'm running for time. We only have an hour, and I've got 11 videos to go. But I'll get it to you.
What happened to mine?
When you run a local business, you're probably going to want to get on Yelp.
Did I hear you can't see it?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Among one of the more popular business directories where people can review your business and recommend it to others.
Sorry.
It's a great way to reach new customers, but you have to make sure you're set up on there properly. If you've been around for some time, you probably are on Yelp, but you might not even know it. It's better that you claim your listing and manage your online presence rather than just leaving it out there to, whatever is going to happen on the internet. You don't know what kind of comments people are leaving. You don't have any idea what you look like when people are finding you. Your business might decline suddenly, and you'd have no idea what to attribute that to. So claiming your online presence on Yelp, for one, it's one place in many, but it's a very important place. So make sure you claim your listing. So to claim your listing and to fill it out completely, you just can head over to yelp.com, and you might have a Yelp account already, but it's actually a separate back-end kind of system where you manage your business. And you can see the link up here at the top. If you're a Yelp business owner, you can go there and you can actually search for your business. So this will tell you if you already, if your business already exists in the Yelp system. So you can search if you're already in the system here. If I search for something that already exists, it's going to pop up down here and you just have to click on it and then it'll walk you through the process of claiming it. We're going to do one that is non-existent and it's not even a real business. So it's going to search for something similar. It's already going to search for businesses that match your terms when you do get started. These ones are already claimed, but if they're not claimed, then you can claim it. But if none of those are your business, then you just add your business to Yelp with this link. And then you have to type in all your information to create the initial account. So you have to put in your address and your city, phone number, all of this information. So you type in as much as you can here. Make sure you're selecting your country first because I'm not sure if you can change that later on. But you want to make sure you put your web address in there if you have one. Put absolutely all the information you can. If you don't have a website, then you can leave that blank. So the next thing, you need to add your hours. These are just your regular standard hours that your business is open. So whenever people can come in and see you, you can add Monday hours. You can, and then add Tuesday. And it'll keep, your last entry as you just keep hitting add entry. So then on Saturday, I'm not going to add any hours there. Maybe this business isn't open on Saturday. So then you need to select a category. There's tons of categories in Yelp, and you can add up to 3 categories. And all you have to do is start typing. And you'll see it searches for different categories that you can use. So you can add another one. So you can add up to 3. Once you get your 3 in there, you can't add any more. And then you have to enter your email address to verify that you're using a valid email address and not just creating accounts. So I'm going to type one in. So once you get your email address in there, you just have to click Add Business. And that's it. It'll send you a verification email. In that case, you need to check that email and verify that you're valid, and it'll ask you to create an account also. Okay, so here I am in my email, and I received the confirmation email. So I just confirm my email address. And then it's just going to ask for my personal information, and it's going to ask me to create a password to go along with the email address that I already provided, and then I just have to hit done. And then you also have to verify your phone number. So I didn't create a real business, so I'm not going to get verification information. My fake business is not going to be verified. Yelp actually does go through and verify the phone number. They'll send you a text or call you. And then, of course, their salespeople will also reach out to try to sell you a premium package. So make sure you look down in the description. I have some links on my experience with doing some of the paid advertising. So you want to make sure you want to make sure you read through that and get a good idea of if you want to advertise.
All right, so we're done with the Yelp. The link is in the PowerPoint. You will get that. All of you will get that at the end when we're all done. I think is useful. It takes exactly a minute and a half to set up a Yelp page. It's really simplistic. As a matter of fact, if we were sitting in class, I would have asked you to bring your laptops, and I'd be walking around watching each of you go through setting up your Google My Business, set up your Yelp for Business, set up your Twitter business page, set up your Facebook business page, all that good jazz. Even if you are business to business, you still need the Google spot and you still need the Yelp spot. Now, the next ones that we're going to start looking at, believe it or not, one young man says he has 30,000 followers on his Instagram page. Can anybody tell me if that's a significant number of followers? Is that significant?
If they pay him.
Yes and no. It depends.
Arlie, tell me why you say yes and no.
Well, my brother has about 35,040 followers on Instagram. He's a chef in the city. However, your macro influencers, your big influencers, they have millions or 500,000 at least. So he's locally known, but that's about it. So big for the city, yes, but not across like nationwide.
Right. There's another way that I like to look at justifying it, and it's about your conversion rate. So if I have 35,000 followers, the rule of thumb is I should be able to take 20 to 30% of those, and I should monetize those connections.
Right.
So if I'm not able to track monetary gains by having that following, I recognize it for what it is. For Laura, it's a waste of time. I mean, it's necessary, but if it's not generating income for me, I'm not going to consistently pursue it. But I also know, and so says the market, if they can't find you or they don't see you, then you don't really exist. You're really not that important. So it's a two-edged sword. You really have to figure out how to participate. My entire class is off. In 30 seconds, your phones are all going to start ringing at the same time because I sent you all an automated message. I did. So it's 7 o'clock or so. Phones are going to ring. And I only did that because I typically have this demonstration that I do because I'm such a stickler at 7 o'clock. Donald just messed up my whole day, just for the record. So the call is going to come. I don't need you to answer it or whatever. You can, whatever. But we'll get back to the purpose of that because I'm not ready for it yet. Your phones are ringing. See. There are
What do you want us to do?
Just let it sit. I mean, we'll get, you can hang up, actually. It doesn't require that you do anything. I wanted to show you, and I'm not there yet. I'm 20 minutes behind. So I gotta do it in order. He messed up my day. You stole 20 minutes. So let's go to the next one. I actually pulled down a link for how to become more Instagram successful. Did I tell you that I'm not a social media maven? Laura is not that diva. But I have learned a few things that I looked at some of my competition. She can't even spell, but she's got like 1 million followers on Instagram. That's right, Arlie, I said it. But I also I was sitting on a panel with one of my competitors, and she gave her handle, her Instagram handle, and I watched the audience, pay attention, do this. She was talking. You know what they were doing? They were consuming her content because everything was in pictures. Everything was pictures. It was somebody who just got a check, somebody who just finished a business plan, somebody who had a ceremony, the gown, and they just graduated from her business class, and people were consuming that stuff. It was like good stuff to them. It was great, Understand how to use the different versions of social media. There are some rules now that have changed drastically. Where I thought Facebook was more important than Twitter, guess what? Tweets seem to have a different audience, and they also tend to be more politically driven. They have a lot of social stigma or associations with them. So if you're into that and you want to gain additional exposure to brands and to organizations and to all these other things, you need to understand the difference between Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, blah, 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 blah. Laura is not the maven. We're going to look at several different social media sites, but it is for you to determine. And I would look at your competitors and find out where they participate, check out their followings to better determine what's the best mold for you. I happen to know that if you're business to business, you really aren't being searched out on Facebook for business plans. You're really not being searched out on Instagram for business plans. But there are some tags. There are some tags that people are looking for. Black Girls Rock.
What do you mean you're not being searched out for your business plan? What is that?
mostly they're probably not going to Instagram and typing business plan as a direct search engine. They're not doing that on Instagram. They're looking for people who are influencers, who they want to follow based on their content and what their delivery looks like. Where they may go to Google Chas and type companies that help with business plans, business plan providers. You know, there are certain indexes you'll go to for certain things, like a Yellow Pages maybe. You know, you have to think about how customers find you. And we will not be looking at any of my pages because I don't do well. It's the truth, and I know it. Let's get to the next one. This is a 30-minute video that we will look at for about 5 minutes because it doesn't take that long. He's got a lot of extra content that he's added, but I think it is relevant. Again, I've embedded the link in your...
Right, well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a free website through Google My Business, which is a new web builder through Google, and it's all free. And I'm going to walk you through all that. I'm going to give a little bit of time here for anyone to join if we're going live. And now we're just going to go ahead and get started. Everything's looking good. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this web builder to make sure it's right for you. And yes, it is free. It's totally free. It's not a free trial or anything like that. It has a free domain name. Google gives you a free domain name. They give you a free hosting, and then the builder is free as well. And this page here that we're looking at, this is the home page that it says build a free website for your business in minutes. And Google, I think, pretty much just realized that there's a lot of small businesses out there and they can't all spend the big bucks, especially when they're getting started for websites. So Google came out with this. And so here's some you need to know information. It is a one-page website. This is not your forever website. This is more of a website to get started. Now, I also want to say before you jump off this video, it is for people who already have websites. It can be complementary, and it can be complementary for your search engine optimization. It will help out your SEO because, as I'm going to show you, you can actually add a link to your website, this free website, to your actual website. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, if you know a little bit about search engine optimization, you know how important those links are. So it's for people who are just starting out and need a website, and it is for people who are looking to get an extra link and help out their search engine optimization. So this website, it has a few customization options, but it's not something you're going to be able to do a lot of customizing on. It's very limited, and it's very limited because it's made for beginners. It's made so it's easy to do, like Google says right here. You get this free listing, and with this free listing becomes this free website, which we're about to walk you through right now and do in the next about 15 or 20 minutes. And because this is live, we'll do Q&A at the end as well. So feel free to ask a question or hold your question to the end, and you get this free listing. And with this free listing becomes this free website, which we're about to walk you through right now and do in the next about 15 or 20 minutes. And because this is live, we'll do Q&A at the end as well. So feel free to ask a question or hold your question to the end, and I'll be happy to answer it. All right, so when you log into your Google My Business backend, it's going to look like this. Well, actually, this is the website. Let's go back home just so I can walk you step by step through all of this. This is your Google My Business backend. I'm not going to get into all this in this video, but the important point here that you want to see is at the bottom on the left is website. And when you click on that, it will take you to this web builder, this Google web builder. And I'm just going to walk you through step by step through all of this. So the first thing you might want to look at in the top left here is themes. So I clicked on that, and you're going to see several different themes here on the left. And when you click through these, you can see there's some different fonts, there's some different coloring, and this is one of the things where it's very limited customizing. You can't change the font and the colors. You're just built with, you can't change which font and which color it is, at least as of right now. So you're stuck with whatever Google combines. And I think as I'm clicking through here, I actually liked this one right here. Let's just stick with this one for now. And you can kind of fit it with the theme of your business and your overall kind of feel for your industry and your business. But I'm going to click this one for right now. So once that is clicked, and this is important, you got to remember to do this every time, and I've made this mistake several times in the past. You want to hit this check mark at the top next to theme, and when I click the check mark, it will save it. If you click out without hitting that, it will not save it, and you'll have to do the work again, unfortunately. Not a big deal for the theme, but it gets to be a bigger deal when you're doing more font or more of the text-based. So the next step here is to click on the edit button here with the text, and this is where we can start editing the home page. So, or the top of the home page. So right at the first thing here is the button, and the button you can choose from several buttons: call now, contact us, get quote, make appointment, send a text message, or send a message through WhatsApp, which will not charge you. The reason that option is available is because it won't charge you through your SMS service. So I'm going to click, you can do any of these, but I'm going to do contact us because that's the main way for my business. And you can make appointment where people can book appointments, and if you click that, it actually you'll have a URL you can enter in. I
was going to show you guys the rest of that. Believe it or not, if you start off with Google My Business in the original platform, you can go in right in that same page.
Hey guys, it's Brian from Stamcard, and I've been testing something over the last couple weeks that I think you're going to find very valuable and hopefully really encouraging. And this is an updated.
All right, sorry about that. You can set up most of what you're looking for, even though it's a flash page or a single page on the Google website builder. You can do a lot more on Google My Business when they let you add the hours, the calendar, all the rest of it. You can even embed or link this next video I'm going to show you. How many of you think that email will be necessary for the clients that you touch? Do you think you will meet them through electronic means like email? Raise your hand. If email is necessary, you are going to want to pay attention to this next video. It's lengthy. We're only going to see about 15 minutes of the 22 minutes, but I need you to pay attention because you need an email management campaign. There's this company called MailChimp, and MailChimp will let you have email marketing for free up to 2,000 distributions at a time, and it doesn't cost you anything. And it'll allow you, and it'll show you how to actually do those pop-up advertisings, 20% off if you leave your name and phone number, or $5 off your next event. You can use MailChimp that way to actually pull clients into not only your website, but to your Facebook, to your Instagram, whatever social media you set up, as well as this free Google website. So let's take a look at this MailChimp.com, and we'll go from there.
MailChimp tutorial that covers how to sign up for a free MailChimp account. You can have up to 2,000 subscribers with a free account. We will cover how to create audience, which was previously called list. I will show you how to add subscribers manually or how to copy and paste lots of subscribers to your audience. We will cover sign-up forms that come with MailChimp, but also I will show you beautiful sign-up forms that are free that you can install on your WordPress website. We'll talk about creating tags that will help you split your audience into groups. In that way, you can send specific emails to specific groups. I will show you how to create a thank you page where you can attach a free gift, like an ebook or a webinar, in exchange for people's email address and name. We will also create a regular email together, which you can send manually to your subscribers. And we will cover how to create a template that you can save and reuse whenever you want to send out a new email. Finally, we will create an automated welcome email that will be sent out right when people sign up so that you can send them a free gift, discount code, or introduce yourself. Of course, we will talk about analytics and how people respond to your emails and how we can improve things. And in the description box of the video, you can see timings of different parts of the tutorial. So if you want to skip to a certain part, you can do that. Alright, so let's dive right in. So step number 1, sign up for a free MailChimp account. Go to MailChimp.com, then click on Sign Up Free on the top right hand side. So for the first part, we need to fill in our email address and password. And then we need to verify our email address and activate our account. There are different plans that we can choose from. For this video, I'm going to choose the free plan where we can have a maximum of 2,000 subscribers in our audience list. So click Complete. And now complete your personal information and your business information. For lists of email subscribers, I will check No because I will show you how to import subscribers later. And where it says Find your marketing path, we're going to skip this option. And then I'm going to click on Let's Go. So for now, we have completed 25% of our MailChimp setup. If we scroll down, we can select I'll do this later for the rest of the setup options because we want to head to the dashboard area. So again, click on Go to my dashboard. By the way, MailChimp has a lot of pop-up windows. So here on this page where it says Get Personalized Advice, we're going to X out on the top right-hand side. And for business recommendations, we're going to click Not Right Now. Alright, so the first thing we can do when we are at the dashboard area is to upload a profile pic. By the way, up here at the header is where all of the magic happens. And this is where you can create campaigns, create your audience, view reports, and so much more. So to upload a profile picture, click on the arrow pointing down at the top right-hand side, then click on Profile, and then you can upload your own profile picture by clicking on Upload Photo. Here is also where we can modify our login details. On the Settings tab, we can update our time zone and save. So the next step is to create our audience. Audience is a place where we can store all of our contacts or subscribers. So click on Manage Audience on the right-hand side and then View Audiences. Before, we could create multiple audiences or lists with MailChimp. So for example, I could have a list of subscribers who are interested in healthy eating, another one about affiliate marketing, but MailChimp have recently changed the amount of audience lists that you can have for your free account. Now we can only have one audience list, and if you want to have more, you will need to upgrade your account. However, there is a way to work around this. So instead of creating 2 or 3 different MailChimp accounts that have different lists, you can create tags. So if I have one audience list, for example, and I want to have one group to receive affiliate marketing related emails, and another group to receive my healthy eating recipe emails, then I can use tags to assign people to a certain group within the list. So I'll show you how to do that in just a bit. So the first thing we need to do is to create an audience list. For the name of my audience, this is the name your subscribers will see, so make it something that is appropriate. I'm going to say here Natural Vita newsletter. For the second part, it is best to use a company email address rather than a personal one, if you've got one. For my case, I'm using info@naturalvita.net. I've made a detailed tutorial about how to create an email account for your WordPress website. I will link that tutorial in the description box. For default name, I'm using Natural Vita. So you want to use something that is recognizable for your subscribers here, so that they're more likely to open your email. And in this area, you're reminding people of how they joined your audience. So I'm going to say here, you're receiving this email because you got a free healthy eating recipe book. The address part is mandatory. Enable double opt-in means people need to confirm their email address before they sign up. So I'm not going to check this box because I want to make the sign-up process as easy as possible for people. Enable GDPR. I will not check this option in this tutorial. You want to check this box if you're sending out emails to subscribers in Europe. This will give your subscribers an option about what kinds of emails they want to receive from you. For notifications, I will check the box Daily Summary, where I can get summaries of how many people unsubscribed and subscribed to my audience list. And if you don't want to get any emails at all, so if you don't want to get bombarded, then just leave all of these unchecked. All right, now let's move on to how to add subscribers manually to our audience list. So we are still at the Audience tab. Now click on Add Contacts and then Add Subscriber. Add the person's email address here and their first name. I usually skip the rest. Then check the box, this person gave me permission to email them. Now click on Subscribe. And now if we go to Manage Contacts and View Contacts, so here is my email address, zolashelton@gmail.com. So we can also import contacts as well. To do that, click on Add Contacts and then choose Import Contacts. We can choose CSV file or copy and paste, which is the easy way. So then I'm going to open my Excel. So here I have 6 names and 6 email addresses. So I copy them all. Then I select Copy and Paste from File and click Continue. Then I paste it over here. So check the box, I understand my billing plan will be automatically upgraded. And obviously this will only apply to you if you copy and paste around 2,000 subscribers to your audience list. So click Understand and then Continue. So here it recognizes that this column is all about email addresses. And this one is not so clear. So click on Edit. Select first name and click on Save and save it. Continue to organize. I can add a tag here. So I can say these contacts are from my old list. Now choose status of these contacts. So we can select subscribed. And I can check the box Update Existing Contacts, which will update their information if they are already on my audience list. Now click on Continue to Review. Then click on Import. And now I have imported 6 contacts. So I have 7 people on my audience. I can also remove people by selecting the contact. Click on Actions. I can unsubscribe them, for example. So they will still be on my list, but they will be unsubscribed. To delete subscribers from your list, again select the subscriber, click on Actions, and this time select Remove Contacts. If you want to tag subscribers in your audience list, you can select all subscribers by clicking on the arrow pointing down, or you can select them individually. Click on the link Add or Remove Tags, then create your tag. In my case, the tag is Recipes. Then click on the name of the tag, and you have created a tag. That's how easy it is. I will also create a tag for affiliate marketing. When it comes to gaining more subscribers, we want to set up our sign-up forms so that people can subscribe to our audience list. Now remember, we're still at the audience header, where we have one audience list with 7 contacts. As you can see, there are different sign-up forms that we can customize. So let's start with Form Builder. I'm going to click on the link Form Builder, or you can click on Select. And here are a lot of forms that we can configure. Let's start with sign-up form. You can see our form is quite naked and bare, but we can customize it to suit our needs. So what we can do first is to delete the name of our list, because I don't want my audience to see the name of this list. So I'm going to click on the link Remove. The next thing we want to do is to move the first name tab to the top by hovering over the box. When you see the yellow background appear, you can drag the box first name to the top and then dump it right on top of email address. Email address is okay where it is. I'm going to delete the last name tab because we want people to have to do as little as possible when they sign up to our audience list. To delete this box, hover over it with your mouse. When you see the yellow background again, click on it and then click on the minus icon and delete the box. We can do the same for the address tab. Click on minus and delete.
Unless you need it.
Keep in mind that the more information you ask people to fill in during the sign-up process, the less likely people will sign up, because people don't really want to leave too much information. For this sign-up form, we will also delete the phone number tab. So now we have a simple sign-up form. Next, we can design it. So click on Design It. We can change the background color here by clicking in the color box and choose a color that you like. I'm going to choose a light blue. How about we add a photo to our sign-up form? So to do that, click on Edit, then click on the Content Media icon. Upload your photo. So I'm going to add this photo here and open. Once it's uploaded, click on Insert. So for my proportions, I'm selecting 300 and I'm checking the box Keep Proportions so it automatically adjusts by itself. Then Save and Close. Also, we can click on Translate It. We can change the different text fields here. So for example, we can change subscribe to get access or sign up. Make sure to save translation. And if I go back to build it, you can see now it says get access. So right now with this link, people can sign up to our audience list. For example, if I copy the link and paste it into the URL, this is our unique link that can help people to sign up to our audience. Also, I can paste the link on my Facebook or other social media platforms, and I could say something like sign up to get 15 healthy free recipes, and then people can sign up and get the free recipe book. So I will leave this as it is and go to a different form by clicking on the arrow pointing down here. This time, we're going to select Sign Up Thank You page. So it says here, almost finished. We need to confirm your email address. This page will only appear if you have enabled double opt-in for your audience list. I don't really recommend this, to be honest, because we want people to sign up as quickly as possible, or else they might lose interest. So remember, we didn't check this box when we created our audience.
What happened?
So
I just shut it down.
Pop up. Instead,
I just didn't do it right.
To the
Okay, so you've seen how to do email marketing, and you figured out how to, or you've at least seen how to set up Yelp for Business. We're gonna skip, because of time, how to set up a Facebook page for your business account. We're gonna skip Twitter, Facebook, and we're going to skip Instagram. They're all links. You can get to them at your leisure. That MailChimp is very useful. It seems laborious and tedious, but let me tell you, the pass-through benefits are tremendous because it allows you some really nice user-friendly templates that you can consistently use over and over and over again. And you can change out 2 or 3 fields based on seasonality, you know, a new season coming up, and it's free. So it just makes life really easy once you learn how to use email marketing, and you want to practice with it. A nice single page, flash page Google Business account can give you a chance to play with it in advance of opening your own. And when you get one and it's got your own domain name, you can embed that link in that Google page, and the traffic that's already there doesn't go away. It just enhances, and you're starting to grow your audience. So that's very important. I'm now going to take you over to, wait. I need to ask you, how many of you plan to use text messaging?
Me,
Mike, yeah, that's a cool one.
I use it now.
How many of you as a consumer don't mind text messaging, text marketing to your phone?
Yeah.
Well, me, the consumer, if your number is not saved in my phone and a text message comes through, I just swipe left. I don't even know what it is. If I have no idea, because I don't accept it as a form of communication. Be careful about who your customers are. And I think that, like you needed to get permission to email them, I believe you need to get permission to text message them, especially when you don't have an existing relationship. To me, I find it intrusive. And because I know I can't just call the mayor or send the mayor a text, I can't just call the procurement officer and just send them a text. I expect that guidelines are preset, but those lines are starting to blur. They're really starting to blur depending on your customer orientation. So be leery and be careful about how you connect with your audience. I just wanted to give that as, you know, a precursor before you start paying the $15 a month to text message everybody in the zip code of 48219. Because
I have a separate phone. I have a separate phone for it. And when I'm not doing business, I turn my phone off. So you just have to leave a message, and then when I turn it back on, because you know I have the boutique now. So, but yeah, a lot of people like doing a text message. I don't know why, but I had to get a separate phone for it.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, I get text messages all the time. And the problem is the only numbers that I've made public are landline numbers. So a lot of people are texting my office line and don't even know that they'll never get to me. And so when I see a number pop up on my cell phone, I know that it was a paid or somebody else passed the information along. And still I don't accept it, because until I give you permission to text me, it is not an approved method of communication for me. That's just Laura. Everybody has their own method, but that's not for me. I will not. I refuse to allow the masses to tell me how I communicate. I decide what my form of communication is. So be cautious and leery. Now, when we start thinking about, had we had a chance to look at setting up your Facebook page and your Instagram and your Twitter pages and all the rest of it, we had 2 different schools of thought on here about what's an acceptable timeline for communicating to your clients or your customers once you create those personas or personal pages. The rule of thumb, believe it or not, you guys are going to think I'm insane, is between 1 and 2 hours. Acceptable response on social media is between 1 and 2 hours. Did you guys know that?
No.
No, for real. Between 1 and 2 hours. I'm not even going down that rabbit hole. I can't do it. I used to pay people to do that for me. And again, when I would look at how much I paid that person every week to add that to their job, I didn't find that it was a pass through of any real value for me. You need to do the analytics and determine. But I later found out that there are some free tools that you can use that will do it for you. Now let's take a look at that. The name of this company is Hootsuite. I know it sounds funny, but they actually exist.
Hi everyone, my name's Andrea and I'm a solutions consultant at Hootsuite, and we're going to cover how to use Hootsuite today. And by the end of this video, the goal is to have your Hootsuite account looking like mine, so set up with different streams, having all of your accounts, whether that's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and also creating some content so you've got it all scheduled. So this is what it's going to look like in the end, but let's go back to the very beginning and go through step by step and how I got here. So how I like to set things up is organizing things by channel. So I'm going to create my first tab here with Twitter. From there, I can add in all the different things I want to monitor. So home, screen, mentions, even a search stream. And what this will let me do is monitor key hashtags or topics that I might want to be paying attention to. So if I wanted to see what people were saying about, let's say, hashtag hotels, I can add that in and search for it.
Okay,
and it will
guys,
show me every time this is mentioned across Twitter.
Because she didn't start at the intro. I have another one. We'll get her, but I want you to get to the intro on how to actually set up Hootsuite, because she's already making the assumption you're familiar with Hootsuite, and I need you to first get familiar with Hootsuite if you're not.
Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Romer and I'm the link acquisition.
Can you see this Hootsuite screen?
Not yet.
Nope. All right, let me go back.
And social media manager here at PaperStreet. Today I'm going to be walking you through the basics of using Hootsuite. I'm already logged into our account, and we already have all of our pages linked to the account. But if you're logging in for the first time, you'll have to add in your social network. So the way that you do this is go into the top left corner in the main navigation and click on your name, and it will bring you to this page. On this page, you can see these are all of our networks that we have linked. If you have a free account, you can only link 3 pages. In the past, if you create an account maybe like a year or so ago, you could add 5, and now they only allow 3. So if you want to add in a new network, you just click here on Add a Social Network. And depending on which one you want, you will just click on it here. And click on this Connect with LinkedIn or Connect with Google+, whichever one that you're trying to add. So if I were to add Twitter, I would just click here on Connect with Twitter. It's going to open up a new screen and ask you to log into your Twitter account. You put in your username, your password, and click on Authorize App. After you do that, it will link your account to Hootsuite. Just note that on some of these, like LinkedIn and on Twitter, they have this little thing that says to follow Hootsuite on Twitter or on LinkedIn. So if you don't want to follow them automatically, just uncheck that before you connect it. So once you go through the process of adding every single page, you'll see them all listed here. If you want to remove any of them, you would just click on this little gear and then click on Remove from Hootsuite, and you would do that for each one. Once you have them all added, you can go ahead and start posting to your pages. And so the way that you do this is very simple. You just go at the very top here, and you would type in your message in this box, select the pages that you want to share to on the left-hand side, and you can add a link right here, and that is all that you have to do. So let's do an example. If we wanted to share this blog post, we would just put in our message. So we'll say, find out what you need to know when adding a phone number to your website. And now I want to add in a link, so I'm going to copy this link and then paste it here. And then I want to shrink it, and what that does is make the link shorter, which comes in handy for Twitter. And then on this side, you just select which ones you're going to share it to. So I want to share it to Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. And when you select these, you'll notice on the bottom right here, it will show you the characters that you have left for those networks. So for example, Twitter only allows you 140 characters, and they're telling you you have 42 left. If I were to add more text here, it would count down and show you that you only have 39 characters left. So once you have everything ready to go, you can either click Send Now, and this is going to send immediately, or you could click this little scheduling calendar, and this will open up, and you could send this in at a different time in the future. So let's say we want to send this next week, next Monday. We could just click on Monday, and then we want it to go out at 5:30 p.m. You could check email me when the message is sent, or you could just go ahead and schedule it. So I'm just going to go ahead and click schedule. And now I've scheduled that to go on Monday. So if I wanted to see all of the posts that I have scheduled, I would just click over here on Publisher. And this is going to show me all of the posts that I have scheduled for the future. So I have one for Friday at 2:30 and one for Monday at 5:30. If I want to update this at all, I would just click on this little button, Edit Group. It would pop up, and I could change the link, change the text. I could even update what networks that they're going to. I could click on these to add more, and then I would save my changes. So if I had more things scheduled, it would show me all the ones throughout the week, but right now we only have 2. So the last thing that I want to show you is the streams. If you want to add streams, this helps you manage your pages and kind of see all the information all in this one dashboard. So what you can do here is either click Create Your First Tab or click up here to add a new tab. And then you're going to go ahead and name it. So let's say I want to see all of my posts. I could name this Posts. And right here I would select the network, so Twitter, and I would click on My Tweets, because these are all of the tweets that I've sent. Then I want to see Facebook, so I click on Facebook, and I could click on My Posts, and then these would be all of the posts that I've sent. And you could continue to do this for all of your social network pages. And this tab is just going to be My Posts. Let's say I wanted a tab that just showed everything about Facebook. I could make that Facebook, and I would click on Facebook here, and then let's say I want to see what's scheduled for Facebook. I want to see my posts. I want to see my events. And so this would go ahead and show you whatever you want to see for that page. And you can organize this however you want.
So Hootsuite is very useful if you go through the trouble of setting up multiple social media sites. You can alternate. You only now, under the free version, only have access, I think, to 3. They may have dropped it to 2, but I think 3. But if you're using Facebook, Facebook will automatically, I think, upgrade Instagram. You can create some type of toggle in your Facebook post where whenever you post onto Facebook, it'll also post onto Instagram. So you only use up one space there. So then if you've got Twitter or Pinterest or anything else, then you can alternate. You can set them up, remove them, do them as you see fit. But the greatest part about that is the scheduling mechanism. And you can create in there a default that'll say, thank you for your inquiry, someone will be with you, and blah, 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 blah. So it gives you that like email responsiveness. So it looks like you haven't left them dormant. So I think that's very useful, very useful. But I suck on that too. There's that tool there, and I still yet don't use it because I don't manage the stuff. You still, see, here's the thing. The tool is there. You still have to put the content in the tool. So that
That's the thing. Yeah, that content.
You got to put the content in the tool, or else But see, that's time management, Chaz. What it is just a matter of making it a priority. I could take every class that we record, but I never got your permission, so I wouldn't do it. And I could just upload it. Here's a snippet. I could take a snippet of our class and go, if you're interested in following us or learning more about our training program, boom, here you go. And it will still serve the purpose. We could do that. I want to have a little dialogue for a few minutes because we're running out of time. How many of you, after seeing our video, the video presentations last week about not only the elevator pitches, but to see the past ProsperUS student pieces, I have embedded in this presentation links on how to create high resolution, really short video on iPhones and on iOS systems. I mean, on Android and iOS systems.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you the technology that'll show you how to take stills and how to make them look like they're transitions and doing things. I've embedded those.
Okay.
I think it's important that you practice and you get comfortable with doing that, or you're going to pay for somebody to do it. It's something you're going to either allocate as a pay or something different. How many of you are comfortable with radio? Where's April? April has muted us and blocked us out. How many of you are comfortable with radio?
Like radio.
I used to work for WGPR.
All right. There's April.
Tiger. Man.
Do you guys know that you can do radio?
I'm not comfortable with radio though.
Yes, you are, April. You have a radio show. You have a radio show, and you told me.
I do.
How about this? Did you know that? So I used to teach the radio blog talk as a separate segment. And then I would teach them to use a video stream as a separate segment. But guess what we can do now?
Put them together.
Arlie could do it right now, because guess what? There's a call-in feature to Zoom right now. If you start to become well branded and you have enough content and the number doesn't change, they can always call in at 6 o'clock to participate in that call, because the numbers don't change once you create, you know, what they consider a reoccurring meeting.
Okay.
So you could easily, Walter, start with a segment that says tips and tricks for making sure that you maximize your earnings through the year. Stop waiting for the big payout on that tax return. Why not keep more of the money in your pocket throughout the course of the year?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
If you're using your tax return as a savings account, let me tell you some of the benefits. So you can create all these different talking points, you see?
Right.
And you can make them 10 or 15 minutes, and every week call in to this number or use this link, chat with Walter.
That's it.
Lisa could do the same thing on the Zoom presentation. I wanted to show you my new inventory. I know we're all getting ready to, you know, put on our whites. We can't put white on until after Memorial Day. But Lisa wants to tell you about why you got your white party ready. Let me put this on, and she can do this and call in. You know, you can do all that great stuff on Zoom and embed it and become the content influencer yourself.
Okay.
Post it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
I'm in class. You coming? Okay.
Mute us, Lisa.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Yes. Hi. So, I mean, you could do so many different things. Deborah could talk right now to homeowners. Let me ask you what your electric bill is. How big is your house? Well, wouldn't it make sense to that? You know, Deborah, you could do this. You could do this. In this platform right here, you get a free Zoom account for 45 minutes. You don't even need to talk to anybody for 45 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes is really popular.
Okay.
And you are recording it. You can hit the record button and you let it play perpetuity. You can just keep using that, reuse that link, reuse the link and let them, you know, and use it to build your content. And what we've learned is on every platform, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, InstaChat, Snapchat, whatever the hell, all those great things. All those super great things. They like this. They like this level of engagement. They like this. You can use a free platform like Zoom, Chas, to start talking about, you know, I've talked to several ladies and a few men too, who, you know, they consider themselves business owners, but really what they are is a booth renter. They own that 4x4 spot and that's really their business. And I think for those of you who are really trying to grow your space and you want your own control, you want it to smell the way you want it to smell, you want the music that you want to play, you want to create your environment. I am here to support you in doing that. I am in the city of Detroit going to create at least a 10 suite space. I'm looking for the top 10 people really interested. You see what I'm doing, Chas?
Yes, ma'am.
You can do this.
There you go.
You can all do this.
Mhm.
So you don't need to have just a radio blog, although there's a link in the page that actually shows you how to do that. You can do that. Or you can all become guests on April's show. And April, I'm recording this and she's doing all her makeup. I'm now taking this and I'm putting it on YouTube.
Yep, just let me know if y'all want to come on.
See, she's got this radio show. And she said, and you can go to her radio show. She's got a radio show on WCHB. Now, see,
with that white outfit from my business.
And she with the white outfit from Vision Boutique. Now, see, Lori could have really intellectual, stimulating conversations around the inspiration of King Lear, or she could talk a little bit about Much to Do About Nothing, or she could talk about, I don't know, My Fair Lady. Whatever, you can dialogue, but then she's got a second leg to her business, and this is a great platform in a safe environment, and they know every week, and you can tell them, if you don't want your face on, no problem, you can call in, we can't see you, post your question, leave your comments in the chat room, blah, 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 blah. You can use this platform right here to start to really reach your audience right now. There's no reason.
We did our first online on Zoom comedy show a couple nights ago.
Awesome. How did it go? Okay. Did you record it? Of course, right?
I forgot.
Well, you need to do the same thing I do. Leave a note.
We got like the last third of it, which is not useful.
So check this out. I recorded my radio broadcast last Wednesday night, and I had the executive director from the Atlanta Black Chambers. I had an African-American business owner from St. Louis, Missouri. I had someone from Tallahassee, Florida, who works for HBCU. And I recorded it, and we had people call in live at WCHB. I can't even tell you the overwhelming responses we had because people are still watching the footage.
Wow.
Right. And I'm now starting to try to get the beta and get the analytics behind it. See, where they can call 313-837-1340 all day, but it's only for 1 hour. What happens now that the video is outliving the segment? Great opportunity, folks. Great opportunity. So let me show you the last two things because I only got 10 minutes. How many of you are familiar with Canva?
I
am.
Yeah,
no.
a little. Someone is trying to get me on Canva. It's for the graphics.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah.
Because you've got to create. You got to have some place to create some nice, flyers, media. You got to have something, right? So I'm gonna go.
The only thing about Canva is don't create print stuff for print.
Oh yeah, I never print from them. I send it straight to Office Depot.
Let people know, don't do print. It doesn't work. It's not the right.
Yeah. Send it to Office Depot always. Save it in your high PNG or a PDF, and then send it to Office Depot. In Canva, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
So many options. You can do so many different things in here. And what I think is really rather fantastic now is the fact that you can create videos in Canva. You see this? Do you see the little sailboats, the little speedboats on the water? You see it moving? They have templates that you can type right over.
Wow.
With all the background graphics and everything, and you can just type right over it and make your own. They're not real big on B2B content. They're more mainstream on photography for food and clothing and people gathering and blah 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 blah. But let me show you this one real quick. I saw this and I said, what exactly does this do?
What's the name of it? How do you spell it?
CANVA. Do you see this frog doing this little thing?
Yes.
So you could type right over that. You can type right over this, watch trending video, and you can say, watch me work. You can say whatever, and use the stupid little animated stuff that's in the background. Add a couple pages to it and all that good jazz. I actually have probably about 600 different Canva documents or videos or presentations or what have you that I've been using over the years. And find that it's got some really good stuff in there. I use it for developing a lot of my client content.
But you've got the paid version, right?
I don't.
Oh, you don't? You've got the free version?
I have the free version.
Mm.
So let me explain to you what I did with this one right here. When COVID-19 is over, it might be very useful. We were able to get 666 people, 666, to sign up for his event. And we created this poster. This poster is a 2x4 on cardstock, high gloss. And we posted this in rec centers. And you see these right here? These are active QR codes. Can you see these? When people scanned them, it took them straight to a sign-up sheet. And they were able to sign up for his summer basketball development program.
Oh, I need to get my son in there.
So it's a two-sided document, the way it's intended to go to print. So we were able to take it to print and make it a high gloss, nice little presentation piece. But we also made them posters and posted them like 6 or 7 different rec centers. And he ended up filling his basketball camps so quickly. We created it free right here on Canva. These are all active links and these are all videos. This is a registration form. This is how you register for upcoming programs. And these were all his pick and roll techniques, or how to have a one-on-one coach session with him. And if you click each of the links, they look really nice. I mean, it's just super. You can do that in Canva and do it for free. All right, I got 6 minutes. How many of you are familiar with Evite or Eventbrite?
Oh, I heard about that.
I
Mm-hmm.
Most of you are. So what I crammed an awful lot, and again, I'm sorry, I lost 20 minutes of my day for you, but in all actuality, you have to figure out how your customers are going to meet you. A Facebook presence is really good, and you can create a Facebook business page now. So that's important that you do that if that's what you think you need, where you need to be. You can create your own high resolution graphic content in a Canva, but you can also use pop-up sign up forms in a MailChimp. You can use a Google website to design and set up your own stuff. You got options. Making sure that you are tracking how your customers find you is really your ultimate job. You have to make sure that you can be found. I'll give you an example. One year, I really wanted to do more guerrilla marketing. And remember, we reviewed the term last week, guerrilla marketing. So what I did was went to some movie theaters and I called that little 800 number they have to advertise in theaters. I think I paid $1,200 for 2 months, and I probably got about 40 or 50 phone calls. So for me, I didn't renew it. I didn't do it again because most of the people who actually made the phone call just asked me about my experience on advertising in that regard. I got 2 business plans, so it paid for itself, but I really wanted residuals. So for me, the benchmark is, does it have the right ROI? If it doesn't have return on investment for me, then I won't reinvest either the time or the money. But let me tell you some things that have really worked for me. I call local churches and youth organizations and community groups, and I will pay to get their their banner for an event that they have. I use my corporate account to get a banner for them. I might even design it in Canva for free. I have it printed at Office Depot. You hear me? And then I put my logo, sponsored by Best Practices Consulting Services. And so for whatever and wherever they're putting that, I am getting tons of community cred, but more importantly, exposure. You guys understand what I'm saying? I'm big on guerrilla marketing. When somebody is doing a capital campaign and they're trying to raise capital to open up a business, I believe in saying, I want to donate, I want to sponsor, I want to give you a spot on my radio show for 1. 2, I like to offer you maybe some printed material that I like to print for you, because on everything that's printed, I also have what?
Exposure.
I'm definitely going to put some, you know, if you need some business support services, marketing or strategy, best practices, consulting services. This event was sponsored by da da da. I am going to get in and participate on my budget. Who's going to tell me that they don't want the free print? Who's got to say? You guys understand what I'm saying?
Got it. Yes. Yes.
Think outside of the box when you start to think about how
That's
your
smart.
customers find you. So every quarter, I look for a means or a method to put my brand in their hands. I stole that from Josh last week. Put your brand in their hands. We talking about the cup.
Yes.
I want you to think through what is a realistic strategy for you. You can host a Zoom conversation with just yourself if you're doing nothing but talking about best practices for your space or tips and tricks for your space. Then you embed that link, that Zoom link, on an Evite or an Eventbrite and host it and make it public to whoever is shopping for that type of content. Too many mediums, too many methods. I know that there's supposed to be a financial workshop in exactly a minute. The reason that I sent that phone call to each of you was to show you how to use the FCC registration. You can register your business link. I know for a fact that if you were to type in 313-265-3062 for 40 pages concurrently, you're not going to get anything else but best practices consulting services. I have an automatic built-in SEO maximizer because I have a registered FCC line. Just real simple stuff. Just real simple stuff. Our class is over. I did record. I'll send it to you. We won't have class next week. I'll be eating my ribs and chicken like everybody else. So
I know that's right.
You guys
One thing,
enjoy.
Laura.
Yes, ma'am.
I was trying to one-on-one you. When can I get in?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Thursday, Friday.
Well,
Do we
it's up
have
to you.
homework? Oh, I'm sorry.
Your homework for this week was to get your business on Google, how to update your business information on Google.
On Google? Okay.
That's the only homework you have for this session.
Amen.
But I expect far more. I want it on Instagram. I want it on Twitter. I want you to get you got stuff to do. And Chad, I'll be in contact with you. All right, guys, I'm going to sign out so you can get to Crystal's workshop if that's your intent. Happy holidays. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Me.